Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about an arc that I received. It is called 19 Souls. This is by J.D. Allen, and it is book one in a new series called Sin City Investigations, or at least the subtitle of this book is A Sin City Investigation number 1. Sounds like a new series to me. I received this arc via NetGalley. The book itself releases on February 8th of 2018, and I actually received this book a long time ago. I should have gotten to it sooner than this. That's my bad. Now, here's the thing. I didn't like this book. It is the story of a Las Vegas private investigator named Jim Bean. And that's actually a name that he chose for himself. He has a questionable past where he was, a successful college athlete, and then a woman accused him of rape, and it took his career prospects away and basically ruined his life, even though he was innocent of the crime. He had to change his name and kind of disappear and reinvent himself in order to escape that whole drama. Now, we know all this, but the book isn't really about that. The book is about a case of his where a woman hires him to track down someone that she says is her drug-addicted brother. And she tells Jim that he needs to find him because their mother is doing very bad, and it's time for the brother to come back and help her sort of deal with things. And that's all well and fine, except what's actually happening is that this woman who hires Jim is a serial killer. And she isn't looking for her brother. She's looking for this guy named Dan that she had an unhealthy infatuation with the entire time that she was growing up. So she has convinced herself that she's meant to be with Dan, and she's set up a home for them where they can be together. And unfortunately, it's not good. It's not good stuff. The situation or the book, I don't like, and I refuse to technically and officially DNF arcs, because I feel like, I've requested them in the first place. It's my job to sort of be able to talk in an intelligent manner about them and inform you guys about what you're getting into with a book. And if I just DNF a book that hasn't even been released that I requested, I'm not going to be able to warn you, basically, or completely inform you about what to expect. I can't say that I officially DNF'd this book, but I can say that I officially started skimming around 55%. And the reason that I did that is because I could not stand the protagonist, Jim. I couldn't stand him. And I think I couldn't stand him because I'm not sure that he was written very well. So what we have is a private investigator who, yes, has some shady skeletons in his closet or a past that he's trying to escape. And on one hand, he comes off as very bitter and cynical and kind of hateful towards women simply because this woman did something horrible to him. And that's all well and fine. If that had been him and that had been the character that we were running with, I probably could have accepted that character. Bitter, cynical, private investigator. Okay, not completely unique, but I could have handled that. But what happens is he comes off that way, and then in the midst of this investigation and in the middle of this story, there are times that he is portrayed as being very weak and very passive and very insecure, That's what it is. Insecure. There were like two sides to this protagonist that I could not join together into one character in my mind. And so I found him very wishy-washy. I found him very, like I said, bitter and hateful and snarky one minute, and then like insecure and weak and like bleh the next minute. So what happens is, or what ends up happening is, he finds this guy that he's looking for, this brother slash object of infatuation, and realizes that in finding him, he's actually put him in danger. That's pretty much the part where he turns into this tail between his legs, like sorry, like guy, even though it's weird, he's got this attitude that kind of all women are bad, except for the diner lady that serves him breakfast, or except for the female FBI agent that he thinks has a great ass. Like, I just didn't like this guy. And I don't know if, I guess I can say that maybe it would get better later on in the series as he uncovered or dealt with more from his past. Maybe he would become a more bearable kind of protagonist, but in the meantime, no. I didn't like him. What I did appreciate about the book is it has a very strong female antagonist. I say strong, I don't mean physically or admirably. I just mean written well, and you get a good sense of who she is. She's very three-dimensional. She's very sick and very troubled. She's psychotic, but you get a good idea of how she got that way. You have a good idea of what she dealt with as a youth. You have, and it all makes sense. All of the pieces of her puzzle fit together, while your protagonist puzzle is kind of scattered, and there are definitely some missing pieces. I haven't read a lot of crime thrillers that have a female villain, and so that was different. And I'm always chasing, especially thrillers that are different, because I feel like there's so few innovative thrillers out there. I feel like a lot of them are very cookie cutter and expected, and like they all follow the same this format, only the details are different. And this book came dangerously close to falling into that, except the refreshing antagonist, her motivations, and just her characterization in general was refreshing for me. I can't say everybody will feel that way about it, but to me that was the one thing about this book that I was like, okay, this is interesting. I do think that maybe she was capable of a bit too much, given who she was and given her history and given all that she had managed to accomplish. The book is called 19 Souls because by the end of the book, that's how many are dead. And so this one girl who wasn't very careful and was sort of arrogant and had an overinflated sense of her intelligence and her abilities, she was able to accomplish an awful lot. And I don't know that that's necessarily realistic, but easily overlooked. It's whatever. I didn't really have any problems with the writing. There wasn't anything technically wrong with the book, except for when it came to the main character and developing who that was and exactly how the author wanted that character to be viewed by the audience. I think there was a breakdown, because you should always want even a severely flawed protagonist. There's gotta be things about him or her that the reader admires. Otherwise, nobody's gonna care. So that's it. That's pretty much all I have for you where 19 Souls is concerned. Again, I received an ARC copy of this book from NetGalley. and it is going to be released on February 8th of 2018. I can't wait really for the book to be released and to see what other people have to say about it. People who aren't necessarily reviewing advanced copies of it, because I know that sometimes those can be a little bit skewed by the privilege of getting an advanced copy. So I'm excited to see what others have to say about it. If you have any additional information about this book, or maybe you've had the opportunity to read an advanced copy of it or an excerpt online, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have questions. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon.